Hello everyone and welcome to the next segment of the Monarch Student 35 Mehmed Let's Play. And continuing from the last segment, you saw that I had pretty much wiped Boudica off this continent. I then made some kind of strange error in clicking on her. I was just going to get her to capitulate and then pretty much be done with that war. However, somehow I accidentally misclicked. The computer was starting to get a little laggy on me. So I reloaded and pretty much played that turn again, almost really the exact same results. I capitulated to her and she wanted to give me actually one of her other dinky cities on her other island. So what I did is I think I got guilds from her and some cash and called it a day. I probably should have. I ended up paying for her map when I could have gotten the map and her map in the deal. I should have. I forgot to click on that, so I ended up paying like 80 gold for her map. But I really wanted it, and it was a good idea to get that because I still hadn't seen a lot of the world, and I would have had to pay the other AIs a lot more for it. So anyway, she has pretty much taken over this island. So this kind of works out well as far as capitulating her. I wasn't really interested in colonizing this island, and it's kind of like I'd settled cities here, and then converted it into a colony or an insta vassal. So that worked out well, and she's not a not a great piece of land, but she's got something to work with. I don't know. I don't know why the AI does things like this. Not why wouldn't she? She could have settled this coastal and maybe fit a couple cities in here, but oh well, that's her problem. I may consider helping her out at some point, giving her some units just to put her in better shape. Because for the most part, at least at this point, I want her to tech well. She's teching replaceable parts for me, which will be nice to have. Um, so anyway, as you can see, I can see most of the map here now. And I kept mentioning that I thought there should be another AI, and I think I figured out what happened. Looking at Genghis's land, and of course it's not surprising that Genghis would do that. It looks like, looking from the cities here, it's kind of a weird setup, but of course, Genghis can expand really fast. How this city got here and Genghis got these cities here, I'm not sure. Okay, this was his capital. Well, I guess that's not surprising for the most part. It looks like Surrey was on the map, the Khmer Empire, and I guess they settled, and it looks like they blocked him in almost, which is really surprising because it's Genghis and he's imperialistic, which means he gets fast settlers. Um, but yeah, he must have taken Surrey out quite some time ago. Um, so that's why I never met him. I mean, I had my caravels up in here earlier. I didn't really look at the city names and realize at the time uh, that this wasn't a Mongolian city originally. But that's where the other AI is, and it doesn't. I guess if you haven't known that AI before it went away, before it died as a civilization, you won't see it on this list, so it won't appear here. So anyway, that's the case. So it's just right now it's down to Ethiopia, Babylon, and Mongolia as the civilizations, and of course the Celts. So let's kind of take a look at things. I've played a couple of more turns, maybe 2 or 3 more turns since the last turn set. I'm going to try to do that at times, depending on what I have to do, just to save some of the minutia that you see when doing a Let's Play. I've gone through most of my cities and reorganized their builds. I'm building a lot of just economic and research type infrastructure. I think my goal right now is just to go for space and hopefully get something like a early early 1900 space victory, which I think would be fine for this map. I mean, if I could go a military route, but that's really go for domination or conquest. Actually, let's take a look at the victory screen here. Hammy is he's possibly in line for a cultural victory, so that's a threat. He's still a good ways off, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Land-wise, I'm clearly in the lead as far as land and population, so that's going to allow me to really catch up in the game. I should be able to catch up pretty quickly once I get some infrastructure in. I'm building some more, building observatories and markets. Once I get banking in, I'll start building some banks. Banks are one of the best hammer investments in the game. Just the overall output on them. You don't need to build them everywhere, but if you have the city set up for them, they really are a good investment. And I'll probably want to try. I've got a few shrines in my empire, so I'll probably want to look at getting Wall Street at some point. So so yeah, I think right now I can try to cruise a space. Let's look at the demographics. Uh, I'm number one in several categories. Obviously, in population, I've got a very strong lead there. In land area, I'm kind of blowing everyone away right now. Um, Production and crop yield are very strong. So I'm behind in tech overall to the other to my rivals, but I should be able to catch up on this. I need to make some selective tech choices. I think banking was one turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that. I want to start building banks, and then I'll probably they got Ethiopia and Hammy, Zara and Hammy already got physics and communism, so I missed out on a couple of the free great people from those civics. I'm sorry, from those techs, but no biggie. I'll just probably go biology. That's a really important tech that the AIs don't prioritize. Getting that extra food will be a huge bonus, and then I can probably trade it to catch up on some techs. And then probably beeline toward something like assembly line um, to build factories and improve my production and hammer economy, and then just kind of power my way up through the techs and try to build the space parts. I've made some resource trades. I've traded for some gold. I've even traded with Genghis Khan, and luckily haven't gotten a hit for that. But now this is a problem. Sorry, Mongolia just absolutely hates Hammy and Ethiopia. He doesn't like me much either, though, and he is in Weehorn mode. But he doesn't have astronomy, so he can't attack. Well, he can't attack me yet because he can't reach me. I don't, of course, know what he's teching, so he could get astronomy soon. And once he does, he's going to start sending out the warships. Now, it looks like Ethiopia could be a target for him, a very likely target. I mean, he's very close to attacking someone, whether it's me or Hammy or Ethiopia. I would say Ethiopia is like a target because he's not liking this, I'm sure. But the AI does weird things. I mean, I've seen psychos like Genghis and Shaka go into Weehorn mode almost instantly, even if they're thousands and thousands of years away from ever being able to reach you. It's really weird. So, I mean, he may sit there in Weehorn mode for a long time. I could consider a preemptive strike on him, but probably what I'm going to need to do soon is do something that I haven't done yet and start building up a little bit of a armada here to protect my coastal areas. I'm definitely going to want to fortify these. But right now, until I really feel like there's a threat, I'm just going to focus on key infrastructure and building up my economy. My tech rate is pretty good at this point, not bad at all, and it's just going to get better once I get certain buildings in, and I can start building wealth and even research at some point. So I should be able to really power the research. Now the question is, do I want to start putting down more cottages? This is an interesting area right here. It's kind of a gap, and I could possibly fit a city in there and just maybe put up some cottages and windmills and stuff. I think I have some idle workers here that I need to put into action. I've got some that are just farming up here. I think I'm going to start chopping, just get rid of this jungle and possibly put a city here. I have a couple of settlers coming out because I want to put a settler here and possibly here, and that should pretty much do it for this landmass. But I'm not really overly cottaged in a lot of my cities. I might be able to cottage and windmill this city and get a little bit more research out of that. Or I could just set it up for pure hammers and focus on a hammer economy here. Actually, I should move that there. So we'll look at that. Once I get democracy, I might just go emancipation. Um, but with the lack of AIs here, emancipation may not be a big issue. It all depends on if I really need to develop new cottages. So we'll kind of take that as it comes. Um, well, I've talked so much, and I'm pretty much through it. What I'm doing is I'm recording longer segments, and I'm just going to split them. 15 minutes just goes by so quickly. So yeah, so let's continue forward. Oh, I was going to check a couple more things here. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is not really in great relations with these two guys yet, simply because they're still in a religion, and I am in a religion, and I'd really like to get out of it. Theocracy is not doing much for me now. I'm probably going to go free religion. But I also want to switch into some other things, like maybe representation and maybe caste system at some point. But I really want to get a golden age before I do that, and I'm not really in a good position right now to get out great people. But once I get the national epic here, I'm going to start starving that city and just spit out a couple of great people really quick and run a golden age. I have the mausoleum of Masala, so golden ages are going to be pretty good for me. Um, and just wait for that. I don't think these guys will attack me yet. I'm putting all my EPs into Zera, but it's going to take a while to see that, to see where he is. All right, so let's just continue on here. Oh, yeah, biology. And I'll start trading with Tex with her. I mean, she's for some reason they like Boudica, but she does not. She is in free religion now, but she does not like them. So I don't know how much she's going to trade with him. They already have what I have anyway. So I'll probably trade with her pretty liberally for the time being. But I do want rep parts soon. Let me see if I can get economics, because free market is something I'm going to want to be in. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. And I still have enough to get rep parts. Military sciences, yeah, I'll get that when I get it, and I'm not too worried about it. Start laying some cottages here. Chop some jungle. And let's farm here.